For most assignments, just using input and output tests and run program tests will be sufficient. However, some more advanced assignments will really benefit from using unit tests. CodeGrade supports many unit testing frameworks, and with our recent updates, makes it really easy to use them inside Autotest. Especially if you already have your unit tests, it's just a matter of uploading them and running them inside CodeGrade, and you will automatically run them instantly every time a student uploads. In today's video, I'll quickly explain how you can set up unit tests for Java using JUnit 5 and Python using PyTest. The first step with unit test is, of course, uploading your unit testing script. You do this as fixtures, and you can just simply drag and drop your unit tests in the drop files here box right there. Press submit, and your unit testing scripts will be uploaded as fixtures. By default, fixtures are of course in the $fixtures folder. To make it a little bit easier for you to work with fixtures later on in your Autotest, it is a good idea to move the fixtures to the current directory, aka the student directory. We can do that in the per student setup script, which is also the place where the student directory is created. So let's do it right here. Use move. As you can see right here, I wrote two move commands using the simple mv function, and I move both the test read sudoku.java and the test sudoku.py to the current directory, which is indicated with a dot right there. Press submit, and you're done. Now we can start to set up our actual unit tests. Let's scroll down and add a category, and we select the PyTest one first. We go to the unit test step right here, and we can start to set up our unit test. With our recent update, you can now select one of our unit testing frameworks that has been installed by default on CodeGrade. As you can see, there's a large number that we support right out of the box. And for most assignments, this will be sufficient. However, if you are using another unit testing framework that is not in this list, you can choose the custom option right here, and you can write your own small wrapper script. You can find more information about that in our help center at help.codegrade.com. For now though, since PyTest is installed by default, we can simply select PyTest right here. All we have to do right now is to select our unit testing script right here, which of course we call test sudoku.py. And since we moved it to the current directory, we can access it right away. We can now set up the settings right here, however we want to, and optionally we can give additional PyTest arguments. Let's save this. And we've already set up our PyTest unit tests. As you can see, it's very straightforward and very easy. And we just use a vanilla version of PyTest. So you can just look at the PyTest documentation, and everything that works inside PyTest works inside CodeGrade as well. Another good idea is to locally test your tests before you upload them to CodeGrade. So for our Java unit tests, we can add a new category, and we select JUnit 5 right here. Of course, these are the rubric categories. So let's again select the unit test step right here and call this one JUnit 5. And again, we can select JUnit 5 from the list right here. Since Java is a compiled language, we of course have to compile the student code and our own unit testing script. As we can see by the message right here, we shouldn't do that with the regular Java C, but we should use cg JUnit 5, a built-in command inside CodeGrade Autotest instead. I'll show you how you can do that later on, but first let's select the classes that we want to use. In this case, test read sudoku, which is the unit testing script that we've uploaded and moved to the current directory. Now, of course, we can give additional Java and JUnit arguments, but that is all fine for now. So let's now compile our Java code. And we can do that in a separate run program step. Let's create that and move it above our unit testing step, of course, and call it compile. And if you do not want the compilation to be graded for a student, you can select a weight of 0 right here. It will still execute whatever you put in the program to test, but it will not count towards the grade. We can now use cg JUnit 5, as was mentioned in the message, use compile, and we can just compile all the Java code. This will now compile both the student and the tests, since we moved the tests to the student directory in the per student setup script already. So let's save this and let's start up our other test to see what this looks like. And as we can see right here, all our tests pass and work as expected. What is nice about CodeGrade is that it automatically expands all the individual tests inside your unit testing script as well. So if we click on one of these tests, we can see that all the individual tests show up as individual tests as well. And the students can easily see which individual test they pass and which one they fail. Right now, the names that you see right here are simply the functions that we defined in our test scripts. If you want to customize these names, or if you want to customize any of the weights that these individual steps have, you can do that. And we discussed that in our webinars. For instance, our webinar on auto-grading Python, auto-grading Java, or our webinar on better automatic feedback. So definitely check those out as well. Hopefully this video helped you set up your first unit tests inside Autotest. If you need any more help, feel free to reach out to us at support@codegrade.com or in our Discord channel. Good luck with setting up your assignment inside CodeGrade.